Recently I found myself needing a new PC while my normal laptop is doing stuff in the background like rendering videos and whatnot. And since I am cheap and I don't want to spend that much money on a new PC, I figured I'd go with a mini PC. Since I don't have the space, I live in a tiny studio as it is, and I don't need anything that powerful. So I picked up this Blackview unit, which I found on Marketplace for literally half the price of the brand new one they sell online. And the guy was so happy when I went to pick it up, he even dropped $10 off the price. So I pulled around, I paid around $100 for it, and let's see if a mini PC of this caliber can actually be all the processing power you actually need in 2025. So let's take a look at it. Inside the box, which I threw away because it was in really bad shape, we found the mini PC, which is honestly quite plasticky feeling and empty, but whatever. We also have a face mount bracket if you want to mount the PC on the back of a monitor, if you can. Also a very short HDMI cable, since it is designed to be mounted on the back of a monitor. I think it's about half a meter long. And obviously the power brick. Taking a look at the unit itself, nothing special, just a little black box. On the back we find power adapter, a USB 2.0 port, two HDMIs, a gigabit Ethernet, and a headphone jack. On the other side, there's another USB 2.0 and two USB 3s, 5 gig ports, and the power button, and that's your whole lot. No USB-C, no SD card slot, no nothing. That's all you get. But before we turn it on, let's take it apart. There is one expansion though, which you'll find on the bottom of the PC. Once you unlock the tabs on the sides, on the bottom of the unit, you can pull it off, and in there is where you can install a second SATA hard drive, a regular 2.5-inch hard drive. I installed one just for testing purposes to see the speeds, and I'll show them to you in a second. This also makes the unit more compact if you wanted to. If you don't need the extra storage space, well, just remove that bottom part and the unit will become much smaller. Speaking of the PC itself, once you take off the glued on rubber feet, 4 Phillips head screws will reveal the interior, where we don't find much of anything. The only thing you can basically change is the SSD. It comes pre-installed with a 512 gig SATA SSD, but you can install an NVMe SSD, as I did here just for testing purposes. But the SATA SSD that it comes with is plenty fast enough for what this mini PC can do. I even checked the thermal paste, see if everything looks good, since it was overheating a little bit. But there's nothing to be done. The cooler is very small and really can't take care of all the heat that this CPU is producing. Speaking of the CPU, my unit is running an Intel Twin Lake N150 4-core processor paired with 16 gigs of DDR4 and a 512 gig SSD. Power consumption is this mini PC's biggest trait. Running on idle, I saw around 6 or 7 watts drawing wall from the power, and at full load I never saw it going above 22 watts. So yeah, definitely a very power efficient mini PC. Speaking of the SSD, the one installed is fast enough, about what you expect for a SATA SSD, as well as the one that you will be installing. Again, SATA 3 speeds, nothing special. Unfortunately, I forgot to record when I was testing the NVMe SSD, but granted to say it was around 3 times faster than the SATA one installed. Taking a look at some benchmarks, well, there's nothing to write home about. This is Geekbench, which everybody likes to test nowadays. I did try running Cinebench, but honestly, I didn't want to wait the 2 hours around for it, or 3 even more, because it was already running very slow, so don't expect any kind of performance for this CPU. Let's throw some games at it really quickly, see how it does. This is Tomb Raider Game of the Year Edition. I really enjoyed this game since it came out. I think I played it around like 10-15 times already, and I still think it looks great. This is running in 720p with medium settings, and the performance, well, is quite good. You'll definitely have fun playing it. Testing something a bit more modern with Counter-Strike 2. This is the built-in benchmark. It's honestly nothing special. This is running in 720p with low settings across the board. And yeah, barely playable. The screen tearing you see in the captures, I'm sorry, that's due to my capture device. It's really not keeping up and I definitely need a new one. But yeah, not exactly playable. This is Black Mesa, a Source game that really pushes the engine to its limits. And as you can see, it's really not very playable. We're getting very low frame rates depending on the environment that you're in. But this is one of the more challenging levels, the Xen levels in Black Mesa. And, well, as you can see, not exactly playable. But something on the Source engine, which is a bit older, and you can still have a lot of fun with it, is Half-Life 2. This is episode 2. And as you can see, it's running perfectly with no issues whatsoever. This is 1080p at full high details. So yeah, no problems here. Trying out GTA 5 because, well, I had it there and it was a quick install for some reason, even though the game is huge. I've noticed this texture pop-in Counter-Strike 2 as well. I'm guessing it's the CPU trying to keep up while rendering shaders. It's a guess, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Since the first time you run the benchmark, well, it looked like this and it was barely keeping up with the frame rate. But if you run it a second time, all the texture will be right there as soon as they're pre-rendering, I guess. So the experience is much better. Not what I would consider playable. This is again 720p at the lowest settings I could muster. You can certainly drop the resolution down and it'll run a bit smoother, but I really didn't want to do that. Let's just call GTA 5 unplayable. But can it run Crysis? Yes, it can. Can it run it good? No, it can't. It's a stutter mess all over the place. While it renders it decent, I guess, it's really unplayable. The stuttering is unbelievable and preloading and texture pop-in is off the charts. To be fair, Crysis was never a well-optimized game and you can clearly see it here. But for other tasks, this mini PC really surprised me. You can get on with it just perfectly fine. If you live online, if you edit documents and Google Drive, if everything you do is online, like most people do nowadays, it's working just fine. Even as a media player PC, hooking up to your TV, which is a video I might do in the future, it's running perfectly and it's displaying 4K videos with no issues whatsoever. And it is capable of outputting 4K 30 FPS, which is good enough for a TV. So yeah, I'm really happy with this PC. I'm having a blast with it. It's running way better than expected. Again, for the price that I paid, it's amazing. I'll have some links in the video description if you're interested in one. Honestly, look for a second-hand one. It's not worth the 200 and something price that they're asking for it. It is, honestly, but I am a cheapskate. So for me, it was a bit much out of my budget. But yeah, if you can pick it up for something lower, definitely pick it up. It's good enough. And that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you soon with another video. Thanks and have a good one.